All right, I want to do a little video about the meta and how it forms. I drew this little sketch just out of the blue. I was thinking about like PoE leagues, how they start, how meta forms. Just want a visual representation of why there's a meta and like what is off meta. Why that is. So it looks like a tree, I think, right? Which I think is kind of cool. I think maybe GGG they have like data that would illustrate this really quickly. But like the league starts, right? At which point you just gotta cover the top, right? And then it's like, okay, so the league starts, no one knows what they're doing. Everyone's kind of like going forward. And as you keep going forward, as the league progresses, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, then you get like a meta emerging, right? So you don't see a meta at the beginning. I guess you would have more of a, I don't know, people are all shooting out in different directions. But as time goes by, like everyone's clustering around the same builds. I think this is just a result of natural groupthink. Like people don't want to come up with their own builds. They're like, the vast majority of people are more inclined to just copy and paste someone else's build. Like, we'll say Fubgun is a meta leader at this point in some way because he plays hard and he's able to almost define the meta in some point. Like there's a right in the center of that word meta is the person we know as Fubgun because people cluster around him. You might have like Palsteron, or you have like, other streamers that have their own version, and it's kind of like, okay, well, it kind of explains what goes on, right? And there might be like, of course, more complex interactions, like people borrowing from each other. But in a sense, this is kind of the visual image I like to see when a meta develops. And it's not like just unstructured, right? It's not just like, oh, league launches, bunch of random builds. You see a lot of like closeness, or it's just groupthink. But the weird thing I want to say is that this actually maps really well to society at large. Like why everyone kind of follows fads, or like why there's a lot of groupthink out there. And especially in a context like, let's say, like, people want to say, oh, get married, have kids. Like, it's the current meta, right? This could be a meta shift, it could go the other way. The off meta style might become more dominant as time goes by. Let's say the nuclear family structure is not really suitable anymore, or causes too many problems. It might shift somewhere else, right? And then the people who go there first, which is in PoE, you can observe that too. People often don't want to play the meta because it's boring. They want to come up with their own little like rule set. And these kinds of people, I think, in Japan are probably exceptionally rare because Japan is extremely like, it favors like just stick to the meta, please, right? So you'll get like people telling you to like, follow the script, get married, have kids, don't make any fuss, and just die, right? Now some might feel that to be comfortable. Like I live inside a very comfortable shell, but others might feel that to be suffocating, myself included. Like if you don't author your own story, then what the hell are you doing, right? Like you must just be a robot. And you might get like these really offbeat people who are like just completely fucking far away from everything. They're just not understandable, and usually society wants to cast them aside because they don't fit inside this model. So having a visual representation like this helps you to tend to see like who's who and who does what. And like a criminal like activity, I would probably add here that if you have an organization, it is completely against the meta, right? They operate by their own rules, but they have an organizational structure making them very strong and resistant to be reabsorbed. And you can even have individuals, not even organizations, who are just very strong in structure and just will not be absorbed, or like there's all kinds of like different kinds of people or properties. But I feel like this is kind of a general way of how social or any kind of like more than one person activity, it kind of when they go after a thing with constraints, with an objective, it kind of emerges like this. I thought it was really fascinating. So yeah.